Brian, I just want to start off with how you saw practice today. Obviously, a little bit short-handed, and just wanted to get your take on today's training.
It's good. It's rainy, it's wet, they're having fun, they're competing. It's been good. I mean, yeah, we're missing some guys, but we've done this before. We've had weeks where we've missed guys, and good chance to see some of the young kids. We got Eric Kisner out here. I mean, it's good.
We saw Nico Benicet out there.
He looks good.
How's he doing?
Looks good. Looks sharp. Looks very good.
How's Jordan Morris doing in training?
Great. You gonna ask me that again, Jackson?
Every week, yeah.
I already gave you that scoop last night on the radio. You should listen to that in case I already answered that question.
He's still a neutral, right?
Who?
Jordan.
Yeah, but when he comes back, he was not at neutral in all of our possession, everything. He is in full training. Just in the final little game there, I had him as a neutral. When he comes back from this weekend, he'll be in absolute full training.
So he's doing everything, he's just not.
It's because the doctors have to look at him, Jeremiah. They have to check that box. He's ready to go. My humble opinion.
So doing some math at the roster, it looks like you might be eligible for emergency call-ups again. Is that accurate?
I think we have enough so far. I mean, provided, knock on wood, anything happens, to any of these guys, I think we're okay.
So there's no plan right now to make
Nope.
hardship calls or
Nope,
whatever?
not yet.
Okay.
We talked about it a little bit just because we're a little unsure of Benazet, but he looks pretty good, so.
We've seen Leo chew out a few times. What have been your impressions since he got here?
Good. I mean, you see what he's got. He's a talented kid, fast. I mean, he's pretty fast. Good quickness. So, we just need to incorporate him. I already told you guys it is, the way we play might not suit his exact skill set, so we're working him in.
Yeah, you've been using him off the bench, and then when Morris does get back, how appealing is it to be able to have two speedsters and be able to just change things off the bench?
It'll be fine. I mean, I enjoy having speed on the field, but there's different ways to beat opponents. It's not all about speed. You have to have the right balance of this. Nobody thinks JP's fast, but what he did last game was pretty impressive.
There were some hiccups defensively in the last game. I was wondering.
Just individual plays. We talked about concentration. In a playoff game, it's not my bad. In a playoff game, that mistake might cost us. We've already addressed that.
Well, how difficult it is for you and the other teams in the league to play these games during the World Cup qualifying?
Normally we don't. This is a rescheduled game. We don't schedule games during the FIFA windows. So that's just because we did well in Leagues Cup.
So the league put out the playoff clinch scenarios today, or updated them today, and apparently you guys can clinch with a point against Vancouver. Is that something you talk about at all?
I won't talk about it internally to the players because I think it's not necessary. But what I would say, Jeremiah, is that, look, it's coming down to the final parts of the year. It's rainy and cold the way we like it. It's playoff atmosphere. There's only 3 home games. I sure hope that the Seattle Sunshine chant is out in full force and everybody in the ECS is there and they're enjoying the rain and they're enjoying a good performance and they're enjoying the team because we only got 3 games left. So what I would say is externally, yeah, I hope everybody shows up and we play well down the stretch and we extend our season a little bit.
I mean, getting ahead of ourselves there, but with the supporter shield, Matt, there's a big numerical gap there still. Is that something you guys talk about at all?
No. Look, Bruce, again, I've gone on record many times. Good for Bruce. Really good for Bruce. Big accomplishment. He's a great coach. Their team's really good.
Vancouver's been in a really good run of form, and they gave you obviously some trouble the last time they were here. Just kind of what have you seen from them that's had them go on this run to get into contention?
We'll dive into it. Vanni Sartuni, the coach, actually was at my pro license course as one of the instructors, so he's a good coach and a good guy. You get that new guy bump, although Mark started that little run that they had. It was unfortunate. It was the loss in the Pacific to Pacific FC, Patamuka, and did a good job up there, but that's what kind of got him the sack. But Vancouver's been playing well for a while, so tough team.
Ryan, obviously Raul had a knock. He didn't play. Javier had a knock as well. Is it safe to say that obviously there's no real injuries? Otherwise, they would have not gone through there.
They're in good hands. The Peru fitness staff, the Ecuadorian fitness staff, will decide if they're fit to play. I trust them.
So
I trust my players.
So even if there's a discomfort, just let it go. That national team will decide.
I mean, we don't control the player right at this particular moment. So, Raul's a smart guy. He knows what's on the line. Javi's a smart guy. They all know their bodies. They should be fine.
Steph has obviously missed a significant amount of time this year, but when he's played, he's been as good as he's...
I saw some of those stats you guys brought up. I mean, it's the stats, yes, but it's more the, his leadership is, helps the guys in front of him, all of those intangibles as well, not just the stats. But yeah, he's having a great year.
I mean, does it say anything about him in particular that he was able to take that much time off and just basically hit the ground running and maybe even come back physically in better shape than he was?
Yeah, probably. He played a few less games. But Tommy works him hard every day, so that the build up to Steph getting back was a pretty long runway. So that helped Steph. Because he couldn't participate in full training, but he could do stuff off to the side. And so he had a good runway. And Tommy's a great coach.
Ryan, is there a timeline on when Nico might get back to at least some training out here?
No timeline on that one yet.
Before you, I know the club put out a big statement about what's going on with the Women's Soccer League and with the rain. I just wondered if you had anything to comment about what their players are going through.
Yeah, I think I've said a lot, because I have to dive a little bit more into it to really talk, clearly about it. I read all the articles and stuff like that, but what I always take away from it is the coach-player relationship is critical. I mean, look, let's start off even as a youth coach. Say you're a youth coach, and it's like the parents, number one, teachers, and the coach. They mold young kids into, positive environment and, helping kids grow. Then you go maybe to the college level, or you're U19, 18, you're helping young men become young adults. And that's a big responsibility for college coaches or coaches that coach U18, U19 kids. And then you come up to our level, the pro level, and what is it? Well, to me, it's the trust. The trust between the player and coach is critical in many different ways. And so that coach broke trust. And they got a lot of stuff to clean up. And it was, horrific to read some of that stuff. So, that's what I take away from it.
As a coach yourself, obviously you see what happened there. Do you have a sort of visceral response to that side of it, to that kind of that broken trust aspect?
Visceral in what sense? I mean,
that you feel sort of like that your profession is being kind of the way it reflects on the profession, essentially. That this is the kind of thing that.
Well, I think there's a lot of us most of us are good people, and we take our job seriously. And again, I can't speak to all of that because I don't know all the details, but there were some things that were wrong, flat out wrong. So it doesn't reflect on me because I think I do a decent job. It doesn't reflect on, other coaches. But, what happened, what I've read, Jeremiah, is that was really wrong.
Coach, Joe Paulo has been playing at such an MVP caliber. I mean, we just saw what he did. How much do you feel like perhaps this new formation has helped maybe exploit or maybe stand some of those?
You keep tweeting that out because I'll be your biggest supporter. I'll retweet some of your tweets. JP could play in any system. He could play the way we play, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2. He's a great player. He's a very talented player.
Does it,
Go ahead, Jeremiah.
well,
Close this out.
along the same lines, does having a player like having someone like Josh Atencio playing with him, does that help someone that can kind of do a lot of the extra
Aussie
running?
Christian. Well, actually, you said running. You said work. Aussie Christian was a great relationship. You had an older senior guy with a younger guy just coming up, and how they performed together was tremendous. Then you have JP and Josh, JP and Danny. You know, you got an old guy waiting over there for the interview, Kellen and JP. I mean, I've got options in midfield, but yes, you're on the right track. It helps Josh immensely. And always how you pair players within your team, you know, that's critical to your success.